Tim Dean, a.k.a. Texas Tim, along with my good buddy Greg Ceriti, Pennsylvania Greg. You know, sort of like the.
I don't know if I have a nickname just
well,
yet.
what's that animal
on
that comes out and sees his shadow?
Groundhog. He comes
no,
out.
He's got a name. Poxitani.
Poxitani Phil. Absolutely.
Yes.
Come on.
Maybe that's your.
It's ridiculous.
Welcome, Greg. Hey, glad you made it up.
There we go.
Down. We're ready to go tonight's game. Liberty Hill taking on Mercedes, who is 6-5 on the season, and last week they won against Pioneer 37-27 in the first round of the playoffs, advancing to get the reward of playing Liberty Hill. And the Tigers are led by Joe Cisneros. Their quarterback does a little bit of everything. Greg, we've talked about that's the kind of quarterback that has given Liberty Hill some trouble.
We've seen it over the course of the season, a dynamic quarterback that's able to run and throw and lead that RPO offense. Looks like Joe Cisneros is going to kind of play that role tonight. Last week against Pioneer, 10 for 14, 117 yards with a touchdown. So high completion rate, probably throwing, he's throwing a lot of shorter passes there. And then also on the ground, 14 attempts, 102 yards, 7.3 yards a carry, 2 touchdowns. So, Tim, you're right. Dual threat for Cisneros there. Looking for him to throw and high completion passes because he's going to run that RPO all game long. And when he's not running the ball, he's going to hand it to Tyrell Trevino, who is also the leading receiver. A couple of dual threat guys, 133 yards for Trevino on the ground and 64 catches for 64 yards and a touchdown in the air. So, Mercedes driven by, you hear that when we talk about high school football, not being X's and O's. Sometimes it's Jims and Joes. Well, it looks like Mercedes has a Jim and a Joe, literally one or the other. So, good stuff there for them.
Well, Greg, we're going to find out here shortly. We missed the coin flip.
We know that Liberty Hill won.
No, so they have won most of the time, and that which is really pretty cool that they seem to always do that, Greg.
They've just had good luck there, and again, it's going to be a running theme for us. And if you've been listening at all during the year, you're going to talk about how are teams going to keep this Liberty Hill offense off the field. Liberty Hill always defers to the second half because they want to have that ball to start the second half. We're going to see what these Mercedes Tigers can do to limit this high-powered offense, which was on full display last week, Tim, and it wasn't running 100%. Tonight, maybe some players back, this offense might look a little different than it did last week, and, man, it looked good.
Well, Greg, it's a nice evening. No rain in the forecast, but it is chilly. It's jacket weather. It's sort of like a Pennsylvania fall day, right?
Just maybe a summer day. Balmy. It's a little balmy for Pennsylvania.
But it's a little chilly, and it's about ready to get this game on the road. We're about 10 minutes away from kickoff. Greg, good news for listeners for the last several weeks. We have seen Joe Pitchford, who's been out for a few weeks. He is in uniform tonight and is queued up to play some snaps tonight.
Great to see number 6 in the building and ready to go. We saw him during warm-ups, and he looks just fine. So did Noah Long, so did Ben Carter. Great to see the 3 of them in the backfield. It's been a while since we have. Having Joe Pitchford in the backfield adds another dynamic to this team because Joe, as if those of you that don't know, he was a quarterback before he transferred in here to Liberty Hill, and just such a talented athlete all around. But, man, he can throw the ball. He's got a couple of touchdown passes this year to his little brother, Jackson Pitchford.
And he does, and it does change a lot of things. Jackson Hines and Jack Pitchford, his brother, had come in and done a really good job this second half of the season playing in that position. Last week we also saw Noah Long sit out, and we saw him warming up too. So it looks like we have a full house of players this evening, and Mercedes could put up a fight, but if you're a Liberty Hill fan, you hope that the Panthers can get a hold of this early and get those guys out of the game to continue to get some healing time.
27 points they did give up against Pioneer, and so Pioneer able to move the ball against this Tiger team, and really it's been all year long we haven't really been seeing a team stop Liberty Hill. They've made some mistakes on their own to get themselves off the field, but for the most part, when this offense is clicking, this experienced offense is clicking, it is dang near impossible to stop. They're able to get positive yards on every single play and move the ball down the field. And if they play clean and they play possession football, meaning they're not turning it over or not doing something like that, it's just a lot of X's stacked against you if you're these Mercedes Tigers. But Tim, that's why they play them any given Friday night.
Right.
And we've seen it before on both sides of the ball. So you're lining up the hats and let's go.
Greg, good news from the Liberty Hill Booster Club, Football Booster Club camp. We got the word a few days ago that you and I have signed a contract to take the Panthers the rest of the way, however far they go, with audio.
One game at a time is what we like to say during playoff football. But we really appreciate that.
That's true. That
the Booster Club is extending that to mean, as long as Liberty Hill is playing, you're going to be able to tune in and listen to Vype call the game. We love this
team.
Right,
because
you listen to somebody call it that they can't find the ball, they don't know where it is, maybe the feed drops. Listen, I'm not going to kick dirt. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to say that broadcast might go off the air. But what we're going to say is we're thankful and thankful to be here. And we have been doing this for so long and absolutely love being here and bringing this to the people and bringing it to the families all over the world, right? All over the world. It's just such an amazing experience to listen to people call in and talk about how their sons or their family members are playing, and they're getting to listen to it and not able to be here when so many people want to be. So,
and the reason I brought it up, Greg, is going into last week, we were in limbo. That's the reason I brought it up, is that, we were in limbo that they were going to see how many people were listening to the game, if it was going to be worth the Booster Club to continue to use some of those funds to get this to get us to keep coming back every week. And they've made a commitment. If they make it to the state championship game, we're going again, which we've been three times. And so 3 of the 4 state championship appearances, Greg and I were calling those games. And so we hope to do another one this year. It'd be fantastic.
But like we talk about in playoff football, it's one game at a time. The Tigers are the next up, and you got to get through this one before we can go to the next. And that's the mindset of these coaches and these players. And we're looking for an exciting game tonight. You can hear the Liberty Hill faithful. It's
Greg.
Chilly.
We've already won the run through tonight.
There is no run through for the poor Tigers.
Right. No inflatable. No Tony the Tiger. No anything type of thing.
The cheerleaders didn't even get in the gym and make a sign, a run through, something. They do have a tiger, an actual tiger. But here come the Panthers through Prowler. Smoke going. Jeff Walker flag. Liberty Hill flag. American flag leading the way.
And don't forget the Whataburger flag.
The Texas flag. I don't think there's a Whataburger flag. You think there should be?
Yes.
An away game, so the JV doesn't make it. Select JV do.
Yeah.
That's a pretty cool picture right there. See if I can get it. I never get it but by the time the one guy gets down, they're all up.
Yeah. So they've done their run through.
Tigers.
And we're going to have the Tigers run on taking their own flags. Look like Clemson They have that tiger paw. Greg, you know I played in a pickleball tournament this morning.
We were talking about it earlier,
Yes.
and you had said that you were playing in a pickleball tournament.
did.
Tell the folks, what was your record in the pickleball
So
tournament?
4-3. I have not played much in the last couple years because I tore my labrum, and I came down to play with some friends here in San Antonio, and played with a partner I'd never met before, and we went 4-3. So it was successful.
Can you play pickleball one-on-one, or do you have to play with a partner?
No, you don't have to play. It depends on the type of tournament. You're playing singles, you can play one-on-one, just like tennis singles.
Huh. How about that?
Yeah.
I have to have a charity pickleball match.
Well, actually, that happened last night. There was a celebrity.
Oh, it was on TV
yeah,
and everything.
it was on TV.
I think my mother-in-law was talking about that.
Yeah. It
How
really
about
was.
that?
We're going to take a pause for the national anthem.
Honor America, along with the men and women who have served and are serving in our United States Armed Forces throughout the world. The national anthem for this evening's game will be performed by the Liberty Hill High School Panther Band under the direction of Dawn Murphy.
Greg, that was probably one of the best we've picked up the national anthem from the band.
The award-winning,
Oh, yeah.
UIL award-winning
Yeah.
Liberty Hill Band, and we've been spoiled all
Oh,
year because,
man.
are they good? They're the best band every time out.
Yeah.
As we get deeper,
We
and
win
deeper into the
halftime.
I mean,
Liberty Hill wins halftime every week.
they're undefeated at
Yes,
halftime.
they are.
Absolutely, they have an unbelievable presentation dedicated to our veterans and soldiers alike.
Yeah.
Active and like I said, and our veterans. And so just
Yep.
an amazing performance.
Hey, everybody, if you tuned in last week, we're doing the shout-outs again. And if you know me personally, you can send me out a text. First one already is Aunt Ginger tuning in. I think she was listener 1 tonight. And so Ginger's listening in. Thank you very much. Always tuning in every week. I think except for one maybe this year. She was on her way somewhere. But send me an email at lhfootball21@yahoo.com. lhfootball21@yahoo.com. Tell me who you are, where you're listening from. That would be really awesome. And if you'd like to give a shout out to any player or coach or participant or myself or Greg, whatever, and let us know if you'd like to give a shout out to anybody. We would love to hear from you. We'd like to hear from the listeners or where you are listening from. Looking at the YouTube feed, we are at 65 listeners at the moment watching the YouTube feed, and that's not just the Vype feed, so it's even more than that. So right now we're at 65 and climbing on the YouTube feed. So send me a email, lhfootball21@yahoo.com. Let me know where you're listening from and who you are. We'd love to get you to tune in. Kickoff is away, getting ready here. And Connor Hawkins, man, he has been solid all year long. He is an amazing kicker. kicks it off and headed out of the end zone. Wow, Greg, it landed outside of the end zone.
All the way outside the end zone.
Yep.
Great kick by Hawkins. Another in the long line of Liberty Hill kickers. They're starting to become
like a factory.
Slot university, and you can get a master's in kicking.
Kicking now at Slot T.
A kicking camp
University.
A kicking division.
It's a minor in kicking. All right, the Mercedes Tigers are out. Joe Cisneros is the quarterback. Offset in the backfield by Tyrell Trevino, the running back. The ball is at the 25-yard line. 2 receivers right, 2 to the left. They look over to the sideline and get a audible called from the sideline, and their right guard jumps. A little antsy there. And actually,
Delay of game on the defense.
wow, it's against the defense. Delay of game.
First down.
I'm not even sure what happened.
I'm not either.
I don't know.
Somebody touched the ball, maybe?
I don't know. But they called it against Liberty Hill, so it's 1st and 5 after the mark-off. Up over 70 on YouTube right now. That's great. A handoff on the left-hand side, down the sideline. Has the first down and more. Run out of bounds at about the 45-yard line. That ball is carried by Tyrell Trevino himself, who set up on the right side and actually came in motion and sort of took a mini pitch right handoff from the quarterback.
We had talked about him being the beneficiary of a lot of those passes, and I guess that's one, a little baby pass there in front that we'll see good blocking.
And Trevino's lined up to the right, Greg. He's not in the backfield. He's lined up of one of the receivers out wide to the right. There are 3 to the right, and actually Ethan Cisno is at the running back, and they fake handoff to him. Quarterback throws it out in the flat. It is complete, and going to pick up about 7, complete to Xavier Sanchez.
You can already see the coaches on the Liberty Hill side calling for an illegal block as soon as that pass was thrown. You can't engage with the block until the receiver catches the ball. Coach is in referee's ear. They're going to run quick here, Tim.
2nd and 3. Got across midfield to the Liberty Hill 49. Ball's on the right-hand hash. 2 receivers right. Man in motion. Handoff right up the middle. That is to Cisno, and he is hit immediately and dropped.
You'll have to excuse us, folks, because we've been doing video for so long. Panthers in their purple tonight against the Tigers in their white.
That's true. I did not paint the picture.
We forget. We've been spoiled because we've been on TV.
Right.
Well, thank goodness we're not on TV.
Yeah, well, thank goodness, yeah. Liberty Hill's all in purple, and the Tigers are in all white from Mercedes. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. Cisneros takes a snap, hands it off up the middle, has a big first down. That's by Cisno again, and Cisno. And moving the chains, get to the 45. Greg, we're up to 80 now on YouTube. That's great, and climbing.
Panther fans trying to make some noise as they're trying to get the play from the sideline.
That is handoff to Trevino, left-hand side, and he gets close to another first down, a pickup of 8, across the 40 to the 37-yard line. That's a really good play.
Big stretch play there again from the Tigers. And it's getting big yardage, too.
Left-hand hash, 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Trevino is out to the right. Want to keep an eye on him. Handoff up the middle to the big back in Cisno, and he gets across the 35, actually to the 35. Another first down. Greg, this is an impressive first drive by the Tigers.
Tackled by David Morris, Colin Brandt, and also Andrew Hardy McLeod in there.
First down at the 35. Tigers got to be fired up here. They're having the success against this Liberty Hill defense right now. They played mistake 3 so far. Now we see Trevino in the backfield with the quarterback Cisneros. He throws it out in the flat to Trevino, and he gets across the original line of scrimmage, maybe picks up a yard. Liberty Hill really good on the pursuit on that play.
Morris immediately blew it up as he fired towards Trevino as soon as he caught that pass. It was a backwards lateral. Had to catch that one or that ball is live. I'm sure his coach is in his ear telling him, try to get at least so it's a forward pass.
2nd and 9, balls on the 34-yard line of Liberty Hill. Ball's on the right-hand hash away from the Liberty Hill sideline. 3 receivers to the left and only 1 to the right. But Trevino is off here on the left-hand side. That's the one sometimes to watch. Quarterback's going to keep it. Great pursuit by Liberty Hill. He's not going to get any yards. As a matter of fact, we're going to mark him for a loss of 1 back to the 35.
Again, senior David Morris, one of the leaders on this defense. Pursuit from the other side of the field, ran him down as Cisneros tried to cut back, and then it was a gang tackle. Bringing up the first 3rd and long here for the Tigers. They're going to spread them all out.
3rd and 10, 3 receivers right, 2 to the left, an empty backfield. Trevino is off on the right-hand side. They're going to throw it out to Trevino, and he drops the ball.
Oh, he dropped it.
He was out in the flat. Trevino is where Liberty Hill should keep an eye on because they actually focus on him a lot. It is 4th down and 10, but you know they are going to go for it here on the 35-yard line of Liberty Hill.
4th and 10, added to the 4th and longs that this defense has had to endure all season long. Not going to try to pin them, field goal out of the way. 4th and 10, they're going to roll the dice.
4th and 10 for the Tigers. Throws it out on the right-hand side to Trevino. He looks back, throws it back to the quarterback. It is complete on the other side. He has the first down. He's down the sideline. The 10, the 5. Finally, they run him out at the 4-yard line. What a great design play by the Tigers.
Little razzle-dazzle there against the Panthers, who over-pursued that pass. And they set it up so nice, Tim, because they ran that pass over and over. They're going to go quick again.
1st and goal. And it's a touchdown for Mercedes as Xavier Sanchez takes the ball from the quarterback and runs it in for the score.
Yeah, that's what happens to this poor defense from Liberty Hill. They got to deal with 4th downs. They got to deal with trick plays. They got to deal with everything they possibly can. Coaches are scratching their head to try to figure out how can we get ahead of this defense, and they have to weather the storm and get the ball back. Oh, they're going to get that, Tim. They're going to block that kick. Looks like somebody might have got a piece of it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was going to go through if they didn't. Maybe if it hit somebody's helmet, it had a better chance of going through, but they'll take the 6.
Yep. Hey, a nice hats off to the Tigers. A great game plan coming out. Great play design and execution. Found themselves in a 4th and 10 situation and ran a great play.
And again, we'll just it's a broken record, right? You just saw what happened. They go down the field. When they come out on offense next time, are they going to do the same thing?
I don't know.
Or are they going to change it up? Are they going to try to do something different? Is this Liberty Hill team going to take that away, that first drive? Are they going to take those laterals away, take those passes away, and force this Tiger team to do something else that it doesn't want to do? It seems like a pretty basic offense, pretty run, pass, an RPO offense that I don't know how much more they got in the tank as far as play selection is concerned.
Well, but with them having Trevino lined up where he is, I think that's going to be the case. Hey, shout out from Aunt Christy. Shout out to the 2 nephews, Hudson and Truman Stillwell, both on varsity this year. It's been a true pleasure to watch them play together. Hudson's a senior, Truman's a junior, and both have also made the varsity football academic honor roll this semester too. So proud of them. Aunt Christy watching from Cedar Park. I'll get a couple more in a minute. Kickoff is received at 28. It is Jack Pitchford on the catch and gets it out to the 35-yard line.
And Christy, we don't talk about that offensive line enough. Yep. Hudson Stillwell, one of the guys that make it go, number 58. He's out there.
There's a flag on the play, Greg. I'm not really sure. It's almost looked like it was almost after the fact, but they're bringing some people together. Get that, Greg. If you keep an eye on that, I'll give some more shout-outs.
I'm gonna take a look.
Robin Benson, listening from home in Liberty Hill, supporting the Bells. They're really good too. I actually was watching them a while ago, but on the sideline when they line the field as the football players come in. But they also do a fantastic job. I remember when I first started doing Liberty Hill football games, there were literally only 3 girls in the drill team when Liberty Hill was smaller and didn't have any girls on the drill team. 3 girls, and to what they've done today is amazing. They're also very talented and put in a lot of work. So Robin Benson supporting the Bells. Go Nat, go Rainey, and go Panthers from Robin Benson.
They're out there in their regular game attire.
They are.
No, they're not.
Nope.
There
No
were any warmers, no sweatpants, no nothing. They have their full bell uniform on, skirts, and it's cold out here. They're warriors. Looking at these boys out here with their long sleeves on their pants.
Greg, did you happen to see what they sorted out? No,
I couldn't tell.
They're still now they're talking to Coach Walker.
But it's in favor of the Panthers for 5 yards.
No.
And then back for 15. Ooh. Oh, boy, I don't know what's exactly happening, but they walked off 5. Now, why couldn't they do the math in the head? Why did they have to walk the 5 and then walk back the 5? Couldn't he have just done the math and came back
with
10?
I don't know. But
is that a UIL rule that you have to step it off?
Ultimately, the ball is on the 25-yard line. And Walker is still on the field wanting some type of explanation.
I doubt he's asking if the ref had to do that. He's probably concerned about something else. He's out there on the 40, almost to the hash mark.
Yep.
And here comes the white hat. He's going to talk to him.
Yep. Shout out to Nathan Keene from the
Coach
Panthers.
doesn't like it. He's just shaking his head.
Shout out to Nathan Keene from the Panther student section. We're cheering extra loud for you until you can be back with us. Get better soon. Go Panthers. That's from Kelly.
5 yards. There was a dead ball, personal foul with an ejection on Liberty Hill. That'll be 15 yards. It'll be automatic first down.
Looks like Carson Holland may have been ejected from this game. That's a shame. Here we go. 1st and 10. Inside handoff. And that is to Ben Carter. A quick pickup of 5 yards.
Ben Carter coming off an absolute monster game last week. 9 carries, 240 yards, Tim, 4 touchdowns. He averaged 26.7 yards a carry.
Actually, pickup of 7. Handoff. That is Joe Pickford. He breaks up his first run. He is tackled at the 25-yard line. He got caught from behind, but welcome back, Mr. Joe Pitchford.
Joe's first carry in weeks, and he almost busts it. He doesn't have that game speed. They're gonna talk to him about that on the sideline for sure.
Down into the 25 of the Tigers. Handoff now to Noah Long, and he breaks out, and he is going to score down the sideline untouched. 25-yard touchdown run for Noah Long.
Carter, Pitchford, Long, and just like that, this offensive line looks they just pitched a 3-play drive, Tim. As impressive as
75 yards.
As impressive as the Tiger drive was,
yes.
How impressive is that Liberty Hill drive? Just
during the play, we have a sideline warning on Mercedes. That's their first sideline warning of the game.
Well, there's an injured Tiger down the field. While we're there, I'm going to give a couple more shout-outs. One from Tiffany Hines. Thank you both for calling the games for us that not able to attend. Tiffany, we love doing this, and I'm glad you said that. You make this military mama's heart happy. So very proud of Jackson Hines and the Panther team flying home to watch the state championship in person. Thank you, Tiffany, for listening. It's people like you why we do this.
If we are blessed,
yes.
Tiffany's in the booth, right? She's coming up at halftime.
Oh no! If you come to a game, 100%. We're getting you up here in the booth.
100%. Guaranteed.
That's what we want. We want to see you. And we've done that before with the Lapazinski.
For sure.
Yep, we did.
For sure.
And also a shout out to Charlene Crossway listening in from Liberty Hill. Charlene is, if Ginger's our number 1, Charlene's our number 2. Been listening for a long time. Thank you so much for both of you for being such loyal followers and supporters of Greg and I doing these broadcasts. Kick is up by Connor Hawkins and good, and Liberty Hill has taken the lead 7-6 with 6:49 left. So 2 drives, 2 touchdowns, a block, extra point when Mercedes tried to attempt, and Liberty Hill 3 plays, 75 yards. Woo! And maybe the only – and 2 touches. The tackle on Ben Carter, the tackle from behind on Joe Pitchford, and Noah Long wasn't touched.
Noah Long did not get touched at all. Wasn't even close to anyone laying a finger on him. The offensive line and backs just busted him free off that right side. But Joe didn't have that game speed for sure. Because in week 2 or 3 he'd have been gone. Joe Pitchford has top-end speed out there. But, again, good hard run. Good to see Joe out there and Noah, who didn't play last week.
Yep.
And Mercedes, just like that, probably the Mercedes Tigers, one of their best opening drives of the season. You have to think it is the highest ranked, or the highest ranked team that they've played coming in.
Oh, no doubt.
And then Liberty Hill just turns around and punches them right in.
Kickoff is away, and it's going to go out of the back of the end zone again. And, Greg, the wind is blowing, but nothing like it was last week.
It was what they call a howler.
And it was now ball comes out to 25. This is where the Tigers will start their drive again. Remember, they drove down the field. I mean, really did a good job. And see if the team's done any adjustments.
Here it is. This is what it works.
Yep.
Don't stop until they can do it, but teams love to throw it long now or do something crazy.
Right.
See if this team likes to settle in and see if they can make a move. And Liberty Hill defense is going to make their adjustments and maybe get some guys up. They are doing a lot of lateral movement here. So,
man in motion, and it is again handoff to Trevino down. Nope, that is actually Sanchez down the sideline. Flag on the play. And I think this is coming back for an illegal block. He picks up the first down. That's a very effective play.
It absolutely is. And the defensive end got caught up there. That's just going to be some coaching. Right now I can hear somebody is talking to somebody and telling somebody to keep outside contained. Absolutely. There is no doubt in my mind that the right defensive end got sucked in on that, and they have to hold outside contained. If you do that, it's just going to stretch that play out. That's basic, Tim. That's defensive end basic 101.
Right.
Keep your outside shoulder free. You got to keep your outside shoulder so that you that's your responsibility out there.
Yep. Well, after the penalty's marked off, it is first down and 17, maybe 18 to go, and that's 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Now 4 receivers to the right. They're going to throw it out. It is complete to Trevino. He has blockers in front, but Liberty Hill does a great job and dropped him for a loss of a yard, or maybe 2 or 3 yards, as they throw it out in the flat, sort of like a wide receiver screen.
Great pursuit there by the left side of this Liberty Hill defense, led by Tanner Kearley. No Colin Brandt out there, number 9, or Carson Holland, rather.
Yep.
Off the field now. 2nd
and 20 now. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right, 1 running back in the backfield with Cisneros at quarterback. 6 minutes left to go in this first quarter. Liberty Hill leads 7-6. Roll out to the left, throws out in the flat to Trevino, and he gets run out of bounds about the 23-yard line.
Good tackle there in the flat by Carlton Schrank, one of the leading tacklers on this defense, number 23.
Greg, update, we're up over 130 listeners on the YouTube channel. That means we have more on Vype.
Support the Booster Club if you're listening.
3 receivers right, 2 to the left, empty backfield on this 3rd down and 12. Again, keep your eye on Trevino, who is at the they can't keep their eye out. I'm keeping the eye out for him. He is on the far side, the right side, where the 3 receivers are in the middle. Snaps back. They're going to roll out that way. The quarterback does. Throws it up towards Trevino. Out of bounds. Brings up 4th down. Surely they're going to bring the punt team on in this situation, and they do.
Now, this is one of those situations that when Liberty Hill, when the Panthers were playing against Lockhart, Lockhart went for it in this exact situation. And it served them well later on in the game. You saw what the Liberty Hill offense did to this Mercedes Tigers defense. They're not adjusting to anything that's really going to help them. You feel like somebody at Lockhart, somebody at those guys have figured out a way to kind of stay in these ball games. And right now, this recipe here has not been successful. And ironically, you're playing against better teams, Tim, that don't need to go for it on 4th down.
Right. Punts away, and it goes towards the sideline, and it's going to roll out of bounds at the Liberty Hill, let's say the Liberty Hill 46-yard line.
Whereas if you're playing against a Lockhart that really has nothing to lose, they do decide to roll the dice. But a Mercedes Tigers team that's won 6 games and has already won a game in the playoffs, they're going to try to play more conventional football because they feel like they can. The problem is this purple offense that's on the field right now.
Ball on the right-hand hash for this Liberty Hill second drive. Run right up the middle of the quarter, and he gets 9 yards. Oh, they're going to give him the first down. Looked like he got down, but they pickup of 11. Man, he almost broke that open.
And, folks, he was 1 tackle away from going again. He was Ben Carter was in the end zone, if not for 1 saving tackle by a diving Tiger.
First down again for Liberty Hill. Now in the territory of the Tigers. Flip out to the right-hand side. That is Pitchford. He has the first down. A pickup of about 12 yards. Gets down to about the 31-yard line of the Tigers. Moving the chains again.
This offense right now is by far the more superior side on the field.
Greg, Noah Long gets the ball here. Same recipe last time. Noah Long gets the ball. And he is gone, and it's a Noah Long touchdown! The same ingredients. Three ingredients.
They mix up the same cake.
And they just sort of stir it up.
1 part Carter.
Yes.
1 part Pitchford.
Yes.
And you finish it off with a dash of 21. 6 points.
There you go. Both times. Wow.
You called it too. You said it was time. It was his turn.
It was his
and
turn.
he put it in. And you think, why didn't the Mercedes Tigers go for it on 4th down? They probably should have. They probably had a better chance.
Wow.
To stop it, this offense with these 3 players.
Well, give it. The extra point is good. 14-6. Liberty Hill 4:58 left in the first quarter. Greg. We just can't say it without talking about it. You know, some people call us the big uglies up front, right? You can't. But you can't talk about it without the offensive line.
You can't. You got to start in the middle. Number 60, Jackson Harrison.
Oh, man.
Is just the rock in the middle. Hudson, Stillwell, Greg, Watkins, Julius Osborne. These guys are out there doing it and making it happen, Tim.
I know.
Just a solid performance for those guys. And when they're doing that, right? How good does that make you're doing your job, right? If your guys are getting in the end zone like that untouched, you are absolutely doing your job.
Yeah. That is so true. Now the kickoff here for Hawkins. Ball's teed up at the 40. See if he can put it out of the end zone again, and he does. Man, he's just an animal kicking the ball. Not enough credit gets to him too. So that Tigers will come out 25. One more shout out, Susan Walker Nimchick, listening in from San Leandro, Texas. You know where that's at, Greg?
It's in Texas.
It's down by your house.
Oh, where?
It's in South Austin.
Oh, I love South Austin.
Yeah. Noah Long is her great nephew. Go Noah Long and the Panthers. Susan's listened for a couple of years because Noah Long's been playing a couple of years.
It feels like he's been playing a long time.
I know. And he's still got another year next year.
That's crazy. Somebody redshirted
Noah Long.
When did he get his red shirt year?
Yeah,
when was that? My goodness.
Start, number 67.
Oh, the Mercedes Tigers with a penalty in their first.
Down.
Yep, going to back them up 5. It'll be 1st and 15.
The defense gets a little juice, some energy from their offense. Back out there, seeing if they can hold the Tigers again.
2 receivers left to the right.
Ball on the ground.
Ball's on the
Ball's
ground.
out.
Oh, he
Ball's
gets
out.
it.
Ball's out. Ball's out. It's in.
It's picked up. It's a Panther touchdown. It's a Panther touchdown. It's picked up by David Morris, and he walks into the end zone.
David Morris, scoop and score. Backside sack. Although that ball was bouncing around, Cade Jones got in there, number 29.
He hit him hard.
Dislodged the ball from the quarterback. Morris grabbed it, put it in. He's in the can right now, Tim. He dumped it good. He dumped the can. He threw it on the ground. That's how you do the can if you're a defensive player right there. You kick it, you know.
Dawkins.
My goodness, what a dunk. That is a good dunk there for Morris. And the defense gets some points on the board.
Extra point again by Hawkins is up and good. And Liberty Hill leads 21-6 with 4:50 left to go in this first quarter.
They called in from Vype. They said we're over-modulated.
So before the, of course.
That's the Panthers' fault. That's the Panthers' fault.
So our QA is Skylar Gillespie back at Vype Central, and thank you so much for helping us out.
From Illinois,
Yes.
Bradley University,
Yes.
the Bradley Braves.
And so, overmodulated, we've been overmodulated since 2007.
A long time.
Nothing-
Since
nothing
2007.
New. Nothing new.
It's the Panthers' fault. This defense comes out and just lights a fire.
Greg, I don't think you're overmodulated. It's really me that's overmodulated.
I don't mind. I try to stay reserved.
I know.
Although I think I stepped on you. I think I stepped on that call a little bit. But I got excited for David Morris.
Oh, yes.
Got a chance to meet his dad, and
You did.
and David's out there along with his younger brother, Jacob Morris.
There's several sets of brothers on this team.
There are
At
the
least 4
Morrises,
that I
the
know.
Pitchfords for sure,
And now the Harrisons.
Stillwells.
Ball's kicked out of the end zone by Connor Hawkins, and the Tigers will come out again on the 25-yard line and set up this.
Mercedes possession, 1st and 10 for the Tigers.
Be ready to go. That is crazy to have that many brothers on the team.
This defense, a little pep in their step, now, a little pride in their stride. They're looking good, giving each other high fives on there.
Yep.
Tanner Kearley in the middle.
All right, 2 receivers right, 2 left, a running back in the backfield.
Coach making a call.
Snap hand off up the middle, and that is Acino, and he has lots of yards, gets the first down and more. Run out of bounds about the 44-yard line.
Again, they came after Cade Jones here on the right side. It's just been 3 plays right now. Cade missed that outside contain. Next play, he busts for the fumble. And that play right there, he got sucked up underneath. Coach talking to him again, telling him he's got to keep outside contain.
Acino on the carry, and this time it goes to Trevino, and he's bunched up maybe only for a gain of 1.
Luke Miller in the game now,
The ball carrier picked up 1.
playing that outside linebacker defensive end position for the Panthers on the right side.
2nd and 9. Ball's at the 45-yard line. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. I'm going to keep my eye on the one on the right-hand side, and Trevino. He's one on the ones, and they roll out. Finally gets out there to Sanchez. Ball's loose, and Liberty Hill has it. It was complete, caught, and ball dislodged, and Liberty Hill has the ball.
David Morris with his 2nd fumble recovery. Back-to-back after the hit off the right side by Aiden Burrell, who came up from his quarterback position, Tim.
Is he going to get do it again?
I mean, if Morris got it, they got to give it to him again. We're going to see if they're going to get it. They're going to get a high five. His little brother's hitting him on the head. They're thinking about it. Somebody's got to go get that trash can. They don't have the ball, though. Morris said, I got that last one. I'm good, guys. I'm good.
Nobody even went to the trash can.
I guess it was a
I don't know.
I don't know.
Ball's
Maybe
at
it's only
midfield,
touchdowns.
Liberty Hill's ball. Handoff left-hand side, Noah Long, and he breaks out down the side on the left-hand sideline across the 30, the 25, run out of bounds about the 21-yard line. Flags are down, thrown towards the where they ran him out of bounds at the 20. Let's see what it is. I don't think they may have hit him out of bounds.
right now. We are
Liberty Hill's packing up.
3:53 left in the first quarter.
Wow.
21-6.
Legal block in the back. The offense.
Oh.
16, 10 yards. Spot of the foul.
Down the field, folks.
So
The quarterback got called for blocking in the back 30 yards downfield. What? No other offense in Texas. No other offense really is that going to happen. The quarterback just got called for an illegal block 30 yards downfield.
30 yards downfield, not like in the backfield.
No, 30 yards downfield,
Yes.
blocking for his running back.
You'll see Aaron Rodgers doing that.
No.
Right? First and 10 from the 31-yard line. And there's movement inside. I think maybe the defense jumped and ran into an offensive lineman. Let's see what they do.
Going to give him the 5 back.
5 of them back.
Offside. Defense. Contact.
That's
But
what it
again,
is.
Carter,
First down.
he was going to be gone on that play as well. This Mercedes
Was.
Tigers defense has no answer right now for the slot T.
So do you give it back to Carter again and stay in sequence?
Well, Long got it that first
Well,
run.
that's true.
It's got to be Pitchford. It's got to be Pitchford
okay,
now.
Yeah, Pitchford this time.
Because
First
it
and
was
5.
Long, Carter, now Pitchford.
No, it's a
It's
pass
Vickers.
play, Greg.
To Pitchford.
Throws it up in the air.
Oh!
Overthrows his receiver in the end zone.
Great play action. Had sprung Jet Harrison.
Jet Harrison's in the game, the freshman.
That sprung Jet Harrison down the middle of the field and
And the first person to meet him when he came back was Jackson.
and his brother.
Yes. And it wasn't Jet's fault. The ball was just a little bit overthrown. Great job the Jets in the game. I've known both those young men for a long time, since they were little. Hand off to Ben Carter up the middle. He gets across the 20, gets the first down. They're going to mark him down, I think, at the 19. Nope, at the 20. There's an injured Tiger down on the field. The ball is going to be spotted at the 20. We'll take a quick break. Liberty Hill leading 21-6 with 3:40 left to go in the first quarter still. You're listening to Liberty Hill Football on Vype Media.
Be a Liberty Hill Panther football booster. Football family, the Panthers need you. Support the brotherhood and support the purchase of equipment, uniforms, multiple scholarships, and much more. Just go to lhpantherfootball.com and sign up. Show your support this year. Be a Liberty Hill High School football booster. Find out more at lhpantherfootball.com. Business sponsorships can also get in contact at lhfbsponsorships@gmail.com.
Back here after the break. The players off on the sideline. Ball's at the 20-yard line of the Tigers. First and 10, and there's flags thrown again. And I think that's going to back up Liberty Hill.
False
Yep.
start of the offense. Number 80. 5 yards from the previous spot. Repeat first down.
So back them up to the 25-yard line. Greg, this has been a long first quarter. Seems like to me anyway.
Well, there's been a lot of touchdowns, and so they've
Yeah,
been
a lot of
having
stoppage.
to kicking extra points and
Kickoffs.
dealing with that.
First and
Clock
15.
has not been running that much.
Pitch right inside to Pitchford. Gets across the 15, to the 10, the 5, and Joe Pitchford is on the board. 25-yard touchdown run by Pitchford.
Welcome back, Joe. He gets himself in the pay dirt, having himself a ball game as he comes back, and this Panther offense still firing on all cylinders here in the first quarter. 27, folks. Unanswered points, about to be 28. I hope I didn't just do it. Yeah, I can't jinx him. You can. I can't.
I have jinxed him.
I know. Look,
Hawkins' kick
no
is up,
jinx.
and it's good, and Liberty Hill leads 28-6. We're still with 3 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Hey, Greg, you know, I mentioned before the game that it would be ideal if Liberty Hill could get out to what you might think is a safe lead and get some of these guys that have been banged up over the last few weeks out of the game. You know, because there is really good ample backups. You know, I know especially on the offensive side. You know, it'd be nice to make sure none of them can, you know, get any more sore or anything like that heading into next week. But right now they're well on the way to getting this one in hand. It's first quarter, and they're up by 22. 3 minutes still left to go in the game. I mean, in the first quarter.
It's crazy how well this offense is clicking right now.
I want to give a shout out to my wife, Ernie, who's listening in from Cedar Park, Texas. Thank you, Ernie, for listening in and supporting Greg and myself, especially me. You don't have to give Greg permission to do this. You don't give me permission either. I'm sorry. I was doing this way before I even met my wife. So, but she knows I love doing this, and
How soon before you told her that you were like first date type stuff? You're like, I'm
early on, because we started dating in July, and I was doing this 1st of September, so she knew. So anyway, kicks out of the end zone, brings the Tigers out to the 25-yard line. Their first play of this drive. Quarterback's going to keep it right-hand side. Picks up 5, still on his feet, or he is stopped his forward momentum.
As an old school quarterback takes one step one way and kind of sachets the other way as a sachet to the right.
So, you know, you mentioned sachet. My wife and I know what that is because we have square danced.
Well, that you just saw.
Yes.
You can paint that picture in your head. That's exactly what happened.
Yep.
On the field of play, what Cisneros just did there, and
Greg, you have
5
square
yards.
danced?
Can you believe that?
Yes.
In Pennsylvania, that's another sachet.
Same play by Cisneros, but this time only going to pick up a yard. Greg, you've done everything. You told me that
back-to-back Cisneros. What?
You've told me you've done everything. You told me you built a cathedral. You know,
I have built houses before.
Yes.
That is correct. That is correct.
You've done a little bit of everything, including
a little bit of everything,
including Homecoming King.
Yeah, I can't. They try to get the recount in. Nope. Yeah. They still give it to me.
You know who finished second in the voting?
Who's that?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Oh no, they don't release that information.
Empty backfield, 3 receivers left, 2 to the right, snaps back, throws out here to the left, and hit immediately. That is Xavier Sanchez. He did pick up a few yards, gets close to the first down. It'll be 4th down and 1.
And now the Mercedes Tigers know that they have to go for it here.
They do. Absolutely have to go for it. And, Greg, they're not going to throw it. They're going to run it. And I might even try
a Cisneros sachet.
No, Trevino's in the backfield, so take a look at Trevino getting the ball. He gets it, and he is going to be stopped short. They're going to stop him short. He's not going to get the first down. And Liberty Hill's going to take over on downs at almost the 35, just inside the 35-yard line. They're going to measure. No, they're not going to measure.
Samuel Knox in on the tackle. Aiden Burrell as well. The left side of this Liberty Hill defense came up. It's exactly like Tim has said. Trevino getting the ball on the stretch read play.
Greg, did you just know where they just placed the ball? Look where the ball's at right now. Okay, do you remember where the ball was when he was short? They gave him an extra half yard to Liberty Hill Panthers. I've never seen that before. Must be standard procedure. Handoff right inside to Ben Carter. He barrels through 2 tackles, still on his feet. Stiff arms a guy, spins out. Wow, what a run by Ben Carter.
Maybe Ben Carter's best run of the year that wasn't a touchdown.
No, picked up about 14 yards.
And I'm going to say 13 of them were all yak, multiple yak. People were hitting him left and right, just bouncing off him. What
Greg,
a run by Ben Carter.
He did a little bit of everything. Power, finesse, speed, stiff arm, all that was in on that run.
It really was. It really was.
First down
Great run.
from the 17-yard line, left-hand hash. Snap in to Vickers, hands off. Up the middle, Ben Carter again dragging people inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
I guess if you run like that, you get another one. Coach says, if you're going to run like that, I'm giving you the ball again.
So Ben hasn't scored a touchdown yet, right?
Nope.
So
Nope,
I
not yet.
think they're trying to give him the rock to get into the end zone. Will we see him do it again? It's 2nd and 3 up to the line of scrimmage. Vickers takes a snap, pitches out the right-hand side. That is Noah Long. He's hit, and he's not going to go anywhere there. He's going to get back to the original line of scrimmage.
First defensive stop of the game for these Tigers, and unfortunately it's going to be a player down, but it's going to be the end of the quarter, so.
End of the quarter, and we'll be right back for a few more shout-outs coming up. You're listening to Liberty Hill Football on Vype Media. Liberty Hill leading 28-6.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Texas. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Back here to start the second quarter action. Greg, I got a shout-out, a special one. You're really going to like this shout-out.
Oh, boy, here we go.
It's a shout-out to my two of my best friends, Shannon and Michael, in Pennsylvania.
There you go. Amen.
So Shannon and Michael, Greg, my partner here, is also from Pennsylvania. Where are you from?
The Keystone State. I was born in Clark Summit, Pennsylvania.
Clark Summit. They're from Doylestown.
Doylestown.
Do you know where that's at?
It's in Pennsylvania.
Okay, you really don't. Handoff left-hand side to Pitchford. Gets across the 10, the 5, and he's going to get into the end zone. Another Liberty Hill touchdown here to start the second quarter play. Doylestown's right outside of Philly.
Amen. Go Philly.
Touchdown for Pitchford. His second on the evening. Thank you, friends, for listening in. It's pretty awesome. It's the first time I think they've got to hear me because everything's been pay-per-view.
Well, give the shout out again.
I did, Shannon.
I'm saying.
Give
the email address.
Yes, I did. So the kick is up and good, and Liberty Hill now leads 35-6 as we just get starting of the second quarter. So I give shout outs during the game for people that message me, send me an email, text me if they have my number.
Message us. Like there's somebody, if there's might be somebody out there.
Any friends on your list?
There might be somebody out there, maybe.
Your wife is the only one.
That's it. My wife. That's fine. That's all.
So shoot me an email at lhfootball21@yahoo.com. lhfootball21@yahoo.com. And let me know who you are, where you're listening from, and if you got any special shout-out that you'd like to give out to any players. Greg, I was up in Doylestown in October.
You had some pierogies.
I didn't have any pierogies when I was there.
Oh, wow.
No, I did not.
Crying shame.
I don't think I did.
A cheesesteak, perhaps?
Nope.
I bet a Doylestown cheesesteak is pretty good.
That probably so, but I didn't. I forget where they took me to eat, but it was a cheesesteak that I had. I'm not even remember. We went to a sports bar. It's what I remember, and had a great time. The company was fantastic.
Little pooch
kickoff. at the 27. He called fair catch, and that's where they'll start this drive. Greg, he's kicking into the wind now. The wind has kicked up if you look at the flags. You see the Whataburger flag flapping in the wind, and so you see that the wind is blowing.
There's no Whataburger flags here.
Yes, there is.
No, that is. I think that's it represents the schools that play at the stadium. No Whataburger flags.
You sure?
I'm positive.
No, it looks like Whataburger to me.
It's not.
Out come the Tigers onto the field. They'll have this drive starting at the 28-yard line. Right-hand hash, 2 receivers right, 2 to the left. Joe Cisneros is at quarterback. Takes the snap, keeps it himself, fake hands off, runs it to the left-hand side. He's going to have the first down and more. Down the sideline, finally run out of bounds close to midfield. They're going to call him out at the 49-yard line. A great run by Cisneros.
Good run by Cisneros. Straight run off the left side. Cisneros picking up good yardage.
Gets the first down. Ball's at the 49-yard line, left-hand hash. So we're just getting underway here in the second quarter. Liberty Hill leads 35-6. Getting the play from the sideline. Man in motion. Hand off to that man in motion, which is Trevino, and he gets good first down yards across midfield to the Liberty Hill 44-yard line.
Colin Brandt, David Morris in on the tackle. David Morris having himself a ball game. 2 fumble recoveries, 1 for a touchdown.
So my wife must not have listened to the whole game because she's saying I really haven't gotten over-animated yet. Is that true?
I think you were a tad overmodulated there.
I was
when Joe got his in.
Joe, yeah,
exciting
for his first one. Yeah,
even his first run, maybe a little bit.
2nd and 3. Again, fake handoff. That's the same play for Cisneros running down the left-hand side. Has the first down and gets hit pretty hard at the 35, and there is a flag down.
You could hear the Liberty Hill faithful wanting to get the hold on David Morris as the big defensive or offensive tackle for the Tigers stretched him out. Looked like he held him for sure, but they didn't think so. They're going to back him up. 15 holding.
They did get the holding call.
Basically bring them back where they were.
Yeah, at the 45-yard line. It's 2nd and 5 now after the mark-off. Just under 11 minutes left to go to play in the second quarter. Liberty Hill leading 35-6. Winner of this game is probably going to meet Alamo Heights next week. They're playing tonight. That will be a big game. Handoff left-hand side. That is Asisno. Pickup of a yard. Second and we're going to call it a 2nd and 3. Nope, it's 3rd down. Sorry, 3rd down and 3. They switch the down marker.
The Region 4 bracket, Alamo Heights against Gregory Portland.
Gregory Portland. Greg, you don't even know where Gregory Portland is.
I guarantee I know it's in Texas. San Antonio Veterans Memorial, they were winners last week, and they play Sherryland. And Lockhart against Flower Bluff in the other regional quarterfinal.
Handoff to Sanchez, left-hand side, and he is going to be stopped short of the first down. Maybe picks up a yard. Bring up 4th down, and probably going to be 2 yards needed for the first down. Let's see where they spot it. Nope, it's still going to need to pick up a 3, so no gain on the play. 4th and 3.
Gregory Portland 64-6 over Mission Vets. Alamo Heights 64-27 over Kerrville-Tivy last week. This Kerrville-Tivy team came in here to Liberty Hill and they
played pretty good.
They ended up losing though.
Okay, 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. It's a attempted reverse. It's botched, but they pick up the ball, and they may have the first down. Tyrell Trevino picks it up off the turf. Let's see where they mark it. I think they're going to give him the first down. They do.
Tip your cap to the offensive coordinator of these
Balls
Mercedes Tigers.
Handed off to Asino. As he comes to the right, he attempts it to flip it back to Trevino, who it hits the ground, and Trevino is able to pick it up, just barely picking up the first down. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. They have not really gone to the receiver on the left-hand side at all. Pass play, under heavy pressure, throws it downfield and just throws it out of bounds. That's an incomplete pass. One of the coaches on the sideline catches the ball. Everybody celebrates. Good pressure by the Panthers, flushing out Cisneros out of the pocket.
The Tigers not looking anything like they did on that first drive, where they were just compact, picking up yardage left and right. Now down in this game, trying to win it all back, really.
2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Snaps back, throws it over to the left quickly. That is complete to Sanchez, and he picks up about 7 yards. Greg, that play has been effective a lot this season against the Panthers.
I think it's effective against any football team that maybe plays a wide, gives a buffer on the outside and gives that cushion to those wide receivers. Anytime a quarterback has a strong arm, they can take advantage of that.
8 minutes left to go until halftime. Liberty Hill leads 35-6. Oh, the flags are flying. The whistle's at least blowing. I'm not sure what happened here.
Jacob Morris back into the game.
False start against the offense.
Tigers shoot themselves in the foot.
Greg, still up around 150 on the YouTube feed. And we still have a bunch of people on the Vype feed. Not sure how all that works, since I'm not real techno-savvy on the 2 different feeds. But now if the penalty, it's 3rd and 8. Straight drop back pass, throws out in the left-hand side. And great play.
Tanner Kearley out in the space, makes a diving ankle tackle to put the Tigers in 4th down yardage, 4th and 8, Tim.
Encino went out into the flat on the left-hand side, and Kearley did his job, was mirroring the running back, and was able to get that tackle for no gain. It is 4th and 8. The ball sits at the Liberty Hill 39-yard line.
But let's tip your cap to Kearley, because the whole offensive line and Cisneros came to the right. It was a throwback play where you're purposely trying to put Tanner Kearley in that pickle to either flow with the traffic or handle his responsibility. And Kearley did the latter, exactly what he was supposed to do.
They call a timeout to talk about it, and we'll do a little talking here. Got a couple more shout-outs. Shout-outs to the cheerleader Maddie Parker and the amazing announcers. We love listening to you guys. Thank you, Kylie, from Kristen and Kylie Carter. Thank you so much. And, again, I got to give props out to the cheerleaders, because if my sister is listening, which she's not, if she was listening, she'd be mad at me for not really pointing out the cheerleaders and all the hard work that they do. My sister was a cheerleader as well. She was a freshman when I was a senior, so she got to cheer at my games. And so they, too, put in a ton of work. And so I gave shout-outs to the drill team. Cheerleaders, again, they do a fantastic job. They do a lot of work. They don't give enough credit for all the hard work that they put in as well. 4th down. Quarterback's looking, Cisneros looking cross, throws it and overthrows his receiver, and the ball's going to go over on downs back to Liberty Hill.
All of those creative offensive plays that the Tigers came up with on 4th down, I was waiting for another one there. That was lackluster. Defense did its job. Offense back out on the field. And Tim, I think you got. I don't see Joe out there right now. I'm not sure if he's done for the night, but
I see Noah Long out there and Carter. Vickers under center, hands off. Oh, the ball's on the turf. And that did not go well at all. Big loss, Jack Pitchford in for his brother. And as he got the ball, it got loose, and Pitchford picks it up, and a huge loss on the play of 14-yard loss.
2nd and 24. 2nd and 23, they're going to call it, for the Panthers.
Wow. That was a bad result. You know, you just talked about Joe coming out of the game. Jack comes in to replace him, his brother, and immediately a 14-ish yard loss. Here we go. Vickers under center. Flags on the play. Handoff up the middle. Carter. And he's still on his feet. Gets back close to the original line of scrimmage. But there's flags on the play. It looks like this is going to come back.
It does. I thought it might have been a false start the way as soon as they threw it, unless it is offsides, which they will decline and bring up the 3rd and 10. But they're talking about it. And
Offside on the defense.
It
so the
is.
defense.
5 yards to the previous punt.
Oh, so they did blow it dead early. Greg, one more shout out from Jennifer Ann. Shout out to the Liberty Hill High School Football Booster Club who made this broadcast possible. It's such a joy to be able to support the Panthers from home and listen to my husband and Tim call the game. Go Panthers.
Oh, that's my wife.
That's your wife. From Jennifer Ceriti in South Austin, Texas. Handoff to Noah Long, left hand side. He loses the ball. It's loose. The Tigers say they have it. It was a first down run by Noah Long, but he lost the ball, and now the Tigers have recovered. All that, he picks up the first down, and it shoots out. I know no one's going to be harder on them than he is.
No, that's a tough break there for number 21. Great cut back. A lot of yards he had to get there. And he got a lot of them, just managed to knock the ball out. I don't think it was Noah mishandling it. I think that's a good play by the Tigers.
Tigers have the ball at the 39-yard line, their own 39-yard line. Handoff to the man in motion, which is Trevino, left-hand side, and Panthers great pursuit on that one.
And now that's one of those coaching, this team getting coached up, this defense getting coached up. That play was one of those plays that was hurting them early in the game. Not so much now, as this Panther defensive coaching staff has recognized that formation and that play setup.
2nd and 10 for the Tigers. Now the ball's on the left-hand hash. 5.5 minutes left to go until halftime. Liberty Hill leads 35-6. Greg, are you updating the scoreboard?
They ran 35-6.
Right.
It's right. It's right.
3 receivers right, 1 to the left. Man in motion back over to the left. Roll out to the right-hand side under pressure. Throws it out of bounds. This coach does not catch it, and everybody groans and moans because the coach did not catch it this time.
He did.
Different coach, though. Different coach.
It for sure was a different coach. Might have been
obviously a defensive coach.
Maybe a lineman coach.
Third
defensive back or receivers coach was the first one for sure.
3rd and 10. Ball's on the left-hand hash.
Tigers looking over to the sideline, trying to get the plays, which so often happens now in high school football.
Doesn't have from Liberty Hill. Liberty always rolls it in with the man. Snap back to the quarterback, hands off right up to the middle. That is Asino, and he picks up about 6 yards on the play, gets to the 45.
But even as soon as just 20 years ago, you didn't see a lot of that. What you see now with the placards on the side and all the coaches over there doing calisthenics and
right,
looking like they're
whatever
third
they're doing.
Base coaching.
Yo, they look like one of the guys on the flight deck of an aircraft carrier.
Exactly.
Like my son.
Ty would be a good coach over there doing that.
4th and 4 at the 45. Quarterback's going to keep it off left tackle, and the defense wraps him up for a 1-yard loss. And again, the ball's turned over on downs back to Liberty Hill.
Good defense there. Number 99, Ryan Jacobs, in on the tackle for loss. Yeah, you think the Air Force, they'd have the advantage if they were calling the plays like that. They'd be able to communicate a little better.
Ty was Navy, by the way.
Well, I'm just saying Air Force with the airplanes and the stuff. Like,
all right. Well, they both do the airplanes. They all have the same.
Yeah, but the Air Force does it a little better, right?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, well, that's because you're a Navy dad.
First and 10 for Liberty Hill, 44-yard line, right up the middle to Carter, and he breaks open, cuts back to the right, across the 10, the 5, touchdown, Ben Carter!
Cutback Carter strikes again. You saw it right there. He does it so well. He was over-pursued, absolutely within reach of that Tiger, but he cuts back in underneath, gets the touchdown. Great run by Carter. This Panther team having themselves a heck of a first half.
Ben Carter with the touchdown run.
Connor Hawkins on to kick the extra point. Reese Figures, the quarterback for the Panthers, is the holder. He's an amazing holder. And one of the Tigers jumped, and they have to throw a flag.
No doubt Hawkins wants to take a practice, a warm-up. Anytime you get a warm-up kick as a kicker, you're going to take, you're doing that when it's cold out for sure.
Greg, is that something you have never done, is kick an extra point?
I have never kicked an extra point in a game.
Wow.
Because I was the holder. Have you kicked an extra point?
No.
Because you were the...
I was a snapper.
That's right.
And I was a good one. Really good deep snapper. Here is the do-over, and Hawkins gets the kick.
He got it.
And good. And Liberty Hill extends its lead to 42-6 with 4 minutes left to go until halftime, Greg. Wow, what an impressive showing by the Panthers. Hey, folks, if you're planning on going to the state championship game, you don't want to miss the UIL State football experience at Cowboy Stadium in Arlington, Texas. This December, come out for an action-packed 4 days, Wednesday, December 14th through Saturday, December 17th, and witness the best teams in each division battle it out in the final games of the season. Tickets and all tournament pass information can be found at uiltexas.org. Greg, you and I have been there a couple of times.
Sure have.
To Cowboy Stadium. Some people call it Jerry World. You and I have walked those halls with all those Cowboy legends photos along the hallways.
I'm there in high school football capacity. Pro football has nothing to do with it.
Fair catch at about the 34. That's where the Tigers will set up. Beautiful complex, though, Greg. Beautiful facility. But when we call, we're in we're in a radio booth, and it's hard really to call the game from so far from the field that we're really watching the screen.
Well,
a lot of the times
it's like a 250-foot screen, so you can't miss it. It's right in your face. So it is easier to call a game when you have literally a giant screen plastered in front of your eyes.
Cisneros throws it out in the flat. That is complete. Pickup of 6 yards on the play. That's Xavier Sanchez on the catch.
4 minutes left in the first half. Panthers get the ball to start the second, so, a dangerous time here for these Tigers if they give the Panthers any time at all. And then they have to deal with that offense back to back.
Looking at the sideline, man, they're slow rolling the play calling. They're eating up clock, and maybe, I don't know, maybe they're doing it on purpose. 2nd and 4, 2 receivers right to the left. Cisneros takes the snap, looks left, throws it, and it is complete to Trevino. Picks up the first down, pickup of about 14 yards.
And there's that play you heard Tim say that they had that play whenever they wanted off the left side, that hitch. There it is off the right side.
Ball's now spotted at the 45-yard line of Liberty Hill. Greg, they are slow rolling it.
I just don't. You don't want to see this offense out on the field now.
First and 10 from the Liberty Hill 45-yard line. Throws again out in the flat. That is to Sanchez. It is complete, but no gain on the play. The ball's loose, but I think he's down. They call him down.
Jacob Morris grabs it just in case.
Hey, I want to give a big shout out to a good friend of mine I've known for a long time Liberty Hill legend and school board member in Liberty Hill, Mr. Tony Stevens. Tony, welcome to the broadcast. He was working late tonight, just tuning in. Tony, his whole family roots are in Liberty Hill. Fake handoff, run to the left-hand side is Cisneros, and he's run out of bounds after a gain of about 4. Tony's son, Will, and my son played basketball together and graduated together, and Tony gave my son his diploma when he graduated, so it was a really special moment.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Do you remember who gave you your diploma?
My principal did, Pete Smith.
Pete Smith. Tony came out and made that moment very special, so thank you, Tony, for that. Thrown out into the right side. Oh, bad communication, incomplete pass. Tony served on the school board in Liberty Hill for years and years and was instrumental in helping make a lot of the decisions in the growth of Liberty Hill, and it's grown tremendously. Just found out a few weeks ago that Liberty Hill ISD has bought the land for high school number 3, and they've yet to even break ground for high school number 2. And heard from a reliable source that the enrollment day 1 of Liberty Hill High School now exceeds the enrollment of Cedar Park High School, which is crazy. Snap back, Cisneros rolls out to the right, throws it back to the left. Incomplete pass. He overthrows his receiver, Ethan Asino.
Brings the offense out in the field with 2:05 left. You know they want to put it in the end zone right now with 2:05 and then come out with another run. Talking about fine-tuning this offense. Opportunity to put one in. Coach loves to give it back to the player that fumbled.
Yep. First and 10 for Liberty Hill at the 41-yard line. Handoff left-hand side. That is to Jackson Hines. Maybe for a gain of 1.
Jackson's first carry of the game.
Jackson has filled in that spot admirably over the last few weeks. Hands off in the middle. That is Carter. He is open and off to a foot race. Ben Carter, touchdown. 58-yard touchdown run for Ben Carter.
Right up the middle for cutback Carter. No cutbacks there. He went straight to the pylon for the Panthers' 7th touchdown of the ball game.
48-6 pending this PAT. Hawkins on again. Trying to kick it into the band that's standing behind the goalpost. Kick is up, and it is good. And this game now is 49-6 in favor of Liberty Hill, completely out of hand and in control by the Panthers with a minute and a half left to go until halftime.
And I wonder, looking back at other teams that have played against the Panthers that have employed the go for it on 4th down all the time, and how much closer the games were. And this team didn't do that to the start of this ball game, and really got themselves behind the 8 ball by giving it back to this offense. Then the turnover for the touchdown, but only now are they starting to try to extend these drives. It's just too little, too late. This Panther offense is just, you can't give them an inch or they literally will take a yard.
Right.
And that we're just witnessing that in full time. These Tigers have not been able to adjust to Ben Carter up the middle, let alone having to deal with Joe Pitchford and Noah Long and Jackson Pitchford and Jackson Hines. I mean, they're all coming at him.
Kickoff up in the air, bounces out at about the 23-yard line. Flags are thrown because it kicks out of bounds. Thank you for all you that have been listening into the game. I know it's getting out of hand.
Legal procedure.
And you may be tuning out soon. I get it. I get it. When a funny story back when the Atlanta Falcons made the Super Bowl, right?
28-3.
Okay, so at halftime, that's the score, right? They're leading the Patriots, 28-3. I'm in New Braunfels at my then girlfriend's house, Ernie. Okay, in New Braunfels, 28-3. I needed to get home because it's so late on a Sunday night. I got to work the next day. I kid you not, I left the game at halftime because it was out of hand. The Falcons had the game in hand for sure. And drove home, listened to the game. Lo and behold.
Couldn't believe it.
Couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it.
I would bet that the Tigers don't have that comeback.
No. Hand off to Xavier Sanchez, left-hand side. They drop him for a loss of, let's say, 3 yards on the play.
And now this lateral play it's done. It's done now that the Panthers are all over it and recognize it immediately and are pursuing to the ball. Like we had talked about early in the ball game, the defensive ends now are keeping outside contained. Yep. They're not letting anybody get around the outside, which is where the damage was being done. So you credit that, and that is Cole Klein, or not Cole Klein, rather, it's Cade Jones on the one side.
Snap, handoff up the middle. Nothing doing. They get them in the backfield, drop them for another loss on the play of a couple of yards back to the 25. And, Greg, it's starting to get ugly.
Good tackle there by Wyatt Sprinkle off the left side. Morrison on the tackle as well. I think they're just going to take this one to the house. Take it to the locker room with 17 seconds. Unless they just fire off a play at the whistle.
Right.
8, 7, I think they're going.
That's going to do it. That's going to take us into halftime. Liberty Hill leads 49-6. What a complete game defensively, offensively for the Panthers. Taking it into halftime. What we're going to do here, since we don't have a studio where we can send it back to Howie and the crew to do their halftime update and
send it back to Howie and the bunch.
Yes, we can't do that, right? So we don't have that, guys. So what we're going to do, we take a break. We're going to let you listen to the tones and of the bands. Both bands are performing this evening, so you can listen to the music. I appreciate all you guys listening in. Hey, I know it's out of hand, but if you want to come back, usually when there's a game out of hand in the second half, Greg and I get really interesting. Really interesting. There's going to be some crazy talk. It may not all be football. We will guarantee it's going to be entertaining for sure.
May have to look forward a little bit into the brackets, talk about the other brackets.
Right.
Maybe get some scores from around.
And talk about pierogies.
Pierogies definitely on the table. It feels like a pierogi night.
Yeah. Tune in the second half. There's no telling. Greg, one other thing I want to tell you. When I was in Pennsylvania,
here we go.
I saw my first Amish guy in a carriage.
And?
It was raining. He's driving in the rain. I thought about getting a picture with him and Whiffy, but
you can't get a picture. You're not gonna like that.
You
at all.
don't think an Amish wants to take his picture? Look, it's not mechanical. Surely he could, right?
I don't think you could call him an Amish.
So,
well, that's good. That's good that you got to see him.
Right, I was in Amish country.
In Amish country.
I was.
Amen.
I was.
Amen. Living the simple life.
It was. It was a beautiful drive. I loved it, and I can't wait to go back to Pennsylvania and see my friends. The colors were amazing. I know they won't be like that all year long, but just seeing some of the places they've gone, they do a lot of hiking and stuff, and so some of the places they've been have been incredibly beautiful. Can't wait to get back. So we're going to take a break. Liberty Hill leads 49-6. Stay with us here for the second half. It's going to be a quite interesting, fun second half. Liberty Hill leads 49-6. You're listening to Liberty Hill football on Vype Media.
Let's hear a big round of applause for the Debonaires as they dance to Get Ready. The Tiger Band earned a first division at the UIL Big Ten Jubilee and advanced to the area contest this year. Great job, Mighty Tiger Band. Tonight we're going to perform some of your favorites for you. First, we'll start off with Havana. Drum majors Vanessa Rodriguez and Saul Araiza, you may begin your performance. los rumberos. Enjoy! Thank you for your attention. Have a safe trip home and go Tigers!
The Stars Major is Grace LaRoche. Avery Gunther. The star of the week is Abby Jarrett. The Bells and Stars will be performing a brand new palm routine to Sweet Caroline. Start off with Land of 1,000 Dances. The band will now continue with Seven Nation Army.
Booster. Football family, the Panthers need you. Support the Brotherhood and support the purchase of equipment, uniforms, multiple scholarships, and much more. Just go to lhpantherfootball.com and sign up. Show your support this year. Be a Liberty Hill High School football booster. Find out more at lhpantherfootball.com.
Business sponsorships can also get in contact at lhfbsponsorships@gmail.com.
I'll never forget the day I decided to go out for the football team. Mr. Banks, the JV football coach and my history teacher, asked me to stay after class. I thought I was in trouble. He said, "Hey, Darius, have you thought about going out for football? I think you'd be great." Fact is, I never played football. Fact is, I never had anyone tell me I'd be great at something. So, with no experience at all, I signed up. And a week later, I padded up and was running drills on the field. I never was great, but playing high school sports was one of the greatest experiences of my life. I was accepted by my teammates, and I learned that when someone believes in you, you can believe in yourself.
Encourage a student you know to take part in a high school sport. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Welcome back to the second half. The bands have played. The drill teams have danced. Greg and I have had our break. And we are ready to go for a second half of play. Liberty Hill leading 49-6. Thanks for you 100 people on YouTube that have still sitting around and listening to us. And
Listen through the band.
yeah.
Listen through the band play.
Greg, you and I were talking halftime that we may see some wholesale changes in player personnel, trying to make sure, the teams do not get anybody injured. Greg, on my way home, you know what I'm thinking?
What?
The drive home. I'm thinking about the drive home. It's a long drive home.
You're already thinking about how many Whataburgers you can stop. Oh,
I'm
okay,
stopping
sorry,
at
sorry.
Buc-ee's tonight.
Whoa,
Right
Buc-ee's.
there, Buc-ee's. I'm going to stop at Buc-ee's.
Is it the biggest Buc-ee's
No.
in? It is. Is it the biggest Buc-ee's in the world?
The
Is this
one in New
world?
Braunfels?
Yes.
No, it's not.
It's the world's biggest
No,
Buc-ee's.
not the one in New Braunfels. They built the bigger one. But they just broke ground this week in Luling. Luling already has one, but they're building a new one in Luling, Texas. I know you don't know where that's at. It's on Interstate 10
In Texas.
Yes, in Luling, that will be the largest one built so far. So, but stopping at Buc-ee's. I was there last week. Going
Biggest
home.
Buc-ee's.
Yes,
That's a thing. Right?
I was driving home last week from the football game, stopped there and had one of their, for the first time, my wife's had it, but I had one of their chopped beef sandwiches. Oh, my goodness. I didn't think Buc-ee's barbecue sandwich was going to be that good, but it was really good. My wife's told me that it's pretty good. I had it on the way home and last Friday night, and it was really good. So I'm jonesing for one of those Buc-ee's chopped beef sandwiches on the way home.
Well, good job listening to your wife. That's what you should do.
Little squib kick by the Tigers and picked up by Ben Carter, the wrong guy you want him to pick up to. But they bring it out to midfield, close to midfield. That's where Liberty Hill will start this drive. Greg, when you go into a Buc-ee's on Friday night during football season, I go in there and I see easily about 15 different high school shirts, people stopping there on their way from all crossroads there in New Braunfels. It's going different directions home, so it's pretty cool. First and 10 for the Panthers. Pitches left to Jackson Hines, and the flag on the play.
That's a hold. Jackson was about to bust through there and just needed one more move, and he was gone.
Jackson Hines, a big carry. Flag on the play. Is it going to be against Liberty Hill, or is it going to be against? Is it a face mask or something? I thought it might have been, and it is, or horse collar or a face mask on the tackle. Let's see. Let's take a listen. It was a face mask on Jackson. He's fine. Just want to make sure.
15 yards at the end of that run, and the Panthers in business in the red zone after one play.
Yeah, picked up about 15, 20, about 20 yards on that play. Ball's now on the 17-yard line. And off right-hand side. And look who got the ball. Luke Miller on the carry, one of the fastest cats on the team. Picks up about 4 yards.
Luke Miller, the ball carrier. Picked up 4, brings up a 2nd and 6.
We still have Reese Vickers in at quarterback. And
Ben Carter in as well. The offensive line, too.
Pitch out left-hand side. That is to Luke Miller. His speed gets him into the end zone for a touchdown. Luke Miller gets on the board. Greg, when he got that ball, we've seen him run to the end zone on kickoffs. We knew he was gone.
His speed definitely got him into the end zone. But in film night, when film happens, they're going to give one of those little pride stickers to number 31, Jackson Hines, for springing him at the 5-yard line. Perfect block by Hines out in front. You hear us talk about these guys blocking for each other, and that was just a perfect block to get Luke Miller into the end zone. Great way to start this second half.
Extra point by Mr. Hawkins is good, and they get on the board again, 56-6, just to start this second half. Band's going to be playing a lot in the second half. They're celebrating competition season's over. They didn't do their competition show tonight, different songs. They just sort of stood and danced and had a great time and celebrated as they should. They've had a lot of hard work this season. Band starts practicing in the heat in August, and they're out there for much of the day practicing, and they put in a lot of work as well. As do all of these extracurricular activities out here on Friday Night Lights. The cheerleaders, we talked about them. The drill team, we talked about them. And Greg, somebody we don't talk about is the trainers, all these student trainers, these student managers. These guys work their tails off for the football team, and there's several of them. And, when I was in school, Greg, we only had like 3 of those guys. And now they have a small army of student trainers and managers doing all kinds of things for the football team. And they're working hard as well. Kickoff is up, and fair caught about the 22-yard line.
Tim, we actually had a solid fleet of student trainers at my high school. So we were flush with girls and guys being on the team out there, taping ankles, making sure that we got water, making sure that everything was squared away as if there was an injury, all that stuff. We were pretty blessed on that side of stuff.
The coaches.
But I'm a lot younger than you are, Tim, so, that's how it goes.
You are. A lot of people don't know that, because if they look at us, they think you're older.
That is definitely not true. They hear us and they think I'm older. They hear us and they think I'm older.
Yeah, I think if they saw
us.
the
wise words that come out of my mouth, they think.
2 receivers to the right for the Tigers flag.
Hey,
thrown automatically. Greg, you have gray in your beard.
That's called experience.
I know, but people look at us. You will be the one they think is older.
I don't.
100%.
Guaranteed not. We might have to ask somebody.
3 receivers left, 1 to the right, 1 running back in the backfield. Cisneros takes the snap, hands off to Trevino up the middle. He gets maybe a yard or 2 after. And it'll be second down.
Terrell Trevino, the ball carrier, stopped by
2nd and 12.
Sebastian Villarreal in at quarterback for the Tigers.
Villarreal rolls out to the left, and he tucks it to run, and he gets dropped for a loss. It'll be a sack on the play for the Panther defense. My wife's already jonesing now for she's wanting me to bring her home one of those chopped meat sandwiches. Yes.
Now you have to.
Now I just if my Pennsylvania friends are starting to ask me for one, I may have to like ship it,
mail it up there, put it in a box.
Or you know what? Maybe a little stuffed beaver, Bucky the Beaver mascot to Pennsylvania. Snap back, throw out to the left-hand side, complete. Pickup of about 6 yards on the play to the 25.
Tigers going to have to punt their first offensive series.
Yep, 4th down and 10. Greg, other than Buc-ee's, what are some of the most iconic brands of Texas? H-E-B, right?
You got to say H-E-B.
Yeah, H-E-B.
Dr. Pepper.
And Dr. Pepper. And you know, there's argument on whether Whataburger is anymore since the Chicago company bought it, but I would still say Whataburger is also one of the top Texas brands, I think.
Isn't it only in Texas?
No. Neither is Buc-ee's anymore. The punt takes a Tiger bounce, gets across the 40, the 30, inside the 25. Great punt down to the 24. No, they got Buc-ee's in other states now. In Florida, I think they just opened one in Tennessee. They are expanding. And Whataburger is also in different parts in Florida. They're in Oklahoma, as far north as Oklahoma. And get this, Patrick Mahomes, Texas boy, right, from White House, Texas. You know where he plays football now, right, in Kansas City.
Got it.
He purchased a franchise and had it built and just opened up last year in the Kansas City area. So they now have a Whataburger.
Huh. I did not know that.
Handoff left-hand side, and the running back breaks out. That is Zach Jacobs on the carry, picks up 15, 16 yards on 1st down. We have a new quarterback out there, too. Jack Pitchford is now quarterbacking.
Good carry by Jacobs there. He had a good game last week.
Yeah.
Tim, Bluebell Ice Cream.
That's right, another one. Bluebell Ice Cream.
Southwest Airlines, another one.
Oh, that's good. What do you Google?
Dell Technology. Dell. May have used the Google. Jack off the right side.
Oh,
breaks one tackle, breaks another.
Oh, going to run out of bounds, lose a few yards. Bring up 2nd down.
My wife texting into Dairy Queen.
You know, no, I don't. Dairy Queen is not a Texas brand.
Nope. Flag on the play.
Yes, flag on the play. No, I get it. You think it is. It's not. If you look up their corporate headquarters, they did not originate in Texas. They're not a Texas brand.
From Pennsylvania they are?
No, I don't know, but I did look it up. There was something, because their commercials say DQ Texas or something like that. That's not the case. They're just marketing to Texas right there in those. Jackson Hines on the carry.
Great
picks
carry.
up about 8 yards, gets to the 45-yard line.
What about Texas Pete's hot sauce?
I don't even know. I'm not a hot sauce guy.
Texas Pete's hot sauce. From Ohio or something like that.
Yes, that's terrible. They're using the name Texas. Texas Roadhouse is not from Texas. That's a misnomer right there. The Texas Roadhouse is not a Texas brand. They just label it. Luke Miller on the carry right side picks up the 1st down. A pickup of 11, 12 yards on the play. Gets across the 45 down to the Tiger 44.
Offensive line still intact. I think some of the second teamers are in there. Harrison on the right side. But mostly the line still in. Good job by Jackson there carrying out Jackson.
No, Harrison's not in the game, Greg.
Oh, no, he's not.
Handoff right up the middle. That is, again, Zach Jacobs. Nice pickup on 1st down. A pickup of about 6 yards.
It is full second teamers. See if we can get some of the guys that are in there. Truman Stillwell getting in the game, as well as Brody Montez.
Greg, check this. Slot T Mafia is a Texas brand. Authentic.
It is an authentic Texas brand. Jackson
Hines again on the carry. Picks up the 1st down to the 32 of
Adrian Nunez in carrying the ball.
Trying to get as many names called. They're getting their
Justin Lavelle bringing the
time under the lights. They're going to get a lot of time tonight playing. Handoff right-hand side. Again, that is Zach Jacobs. He picks up a couple of hard-earned yards. Bring up second down and about 7.
Jet Harrison still in the game. Jet was in some of those downs early in the game. Good to see Harrison in getting some.
Well, I know there was talk before the season even started whether Jet and a couple of these other freshmen, Alistair Vallejo, might make it onto varsity. Ball's on the ground, picked up by Luke Miller, and he gets dropped for a loss of all the yardage they gained on first down, so it's going to bring up 3rd and 10.
I have to imagine that if Vallejo is on the field, he's going to get some playing time. I don't see number 56 out there, but I have a feeling
he's a defensive specialist guy, I think. So
he is.
We may see him play defense, and I like to see him because you and I have seen some tape on him.
There he is right there next to number 88.
We've seen some tape on him, right? So tough player. Excited to see his future. Handoff to Jackson Hines, trying to get to the sideline. He gets jumped on from behind, and he's going to be dropped for a loss. He could not break loose.
45.
Break loose.
Is this a field goal?
No. No way. It'd be
into the wind?
No. So it's 4th down and 14, and they're just going to just run a play. I'm sure. Yeah, that's all they're going to do. Run a play. The play's coming in from Preston Mixon from the sideline. Inside handoff to Hines again. He gets about 7 of those yards back. Ball turns over and done, but a good run by Jackson Hines up the middle. Jackson Hines, a junior, also will be back next year, Greg. Big future ahead for him next year as he's an incredible athlete. See where they may, what part he may play in this Liberty Hill team next year. Is it when you lose the seniors, you got to a lot your team and everybody earn positions. Again, now the Tigers have the ball. It's flipped to Tyrell Trevino, and he cuts it back and picks up about 5 yards on first down.
All those running backs will be back next year.
Yes.
Hines, Pitchford, Carter, and Long.
Yeah, but
what you're going to lose, though, is that offensive line.
Yeah. Well, they lost them last year, Greg. That did, so.
They just reloaded Liberty Hill.
Handoff up the middle to Asino, and he picks up the first down. There's a flag late in there, so see what that is.
I was talking to some of the guys out here in between, and we were talking about this offensive line. And this team, this offensive side of the ball, the team that was, a lot of this team was in the state championship last year, these guys that were on the offensive side. They're a seasoned team and a good one. They've shown it again tonight.
15-yard penalty marked off against Liberty Hill, tacked on to the end of that play, puts them in Liberty Hill territory at the 41-yard line. 2 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Liberty Hill leads 56-6. Snap, handoff right up the middle to the running back. No gain on the play, bring up second down.
Good tackle by Cade Jones there off the left side.
Second down. Now a minute and a half, the clock's running. And Greg, I wonder if, we talked about the coaches can agree to run the clock. And I don't know if that's been the case yet because I really hadn't been paying attention to see if they've been stopping the clock. And maybe it's different in the playoffs. I wouldn't think so, that you can still make that agreement.
They ran it last week.
Rolled out left-hand side, thrown incomplete pass.
But it's a double-edged sword because, you want to get your guys experience, and that's exactly what's happening right here with the Mercedes Tigers. They have their junior quarterback in, Sebastian Villarreal. just trying to get some reps against a good, solid team. And Coach Walker doing the same thing on the other side, getting some guys in, getting them some reps and calling some plays, seeing what they can do, getting some stuff on film. And, who knows when you're going to have to step in and be called on to provide, a play here or a play there. And that's what being on a team is about.
Right.
So trying to get as many reps as you can.
3rd and 10. Timeout for the Tigers. And they're going to call a timeout. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. Liberty Hill leading 56-6 with 31 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. You're listening to Liberty Hill Football on Vype Media.
High school sports don't just happen. There's a ton of work that goes into every single athletic event.
And we have our school's athletic director to thank for a lot of it. Thank you.
For scheduling officials, so I can always play the game I love.
For ordering quality athletic equipment, so I can stay safe on the field.
For mentoring my coaches, so they can be the best role models for me.
For coordinating transportation, so I can get focused for the big game.
For helping us develop character and learn lessons that will benefit us for the rest of our lives.
Thank you to our AD for always creating a positive experience for us. We'll never forget it.
From all of us at the NIAAA, thank you to every athletic administrator in Texas for all you do to enrich the lives of your students. It does not go unnoticed. This message presented by the NIAAA, the National Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Back here to start the play up again. Pass out to the left-hand side from Trevino. It's complete to the 33-yard line. It'll bring up 4th down and 2. After that timeout, Villarreal, nice pass. And that's the end of the quarter. And we'll stay right here since we just took a break, but we'll stay right here. 56-6. Greg, this is a time, I know we still got a quarter played, but I want to bring up something. Greg, what did I tell you the score, my prediction of the score before the game started? Let's open the envelope. Tell them what my prediction of the final score was. And we have a quarter to play, though.
This is the absolute truth. Nas Tim Damas said the final score of the game, not the end of the 3rd quarter.
That's true.
But the final score, 55-6.
And what's the score now?
It's 56-6.
I know, right? That's pretty darn good, but we've got a quarter to play.
Connor Hawkins was one missed extra point away from making Nas Tim Damas hit it on the button.
4th and 2 for the Tigers. Snap. Quarterback's going to keep himself, and he's going to pick up the 1st down. He has just enough to get the 1st down. Villarreal drove his legs in to get that 1st down and to move the chains.
Good run there by Villarreal off the left side. He hasn't been throwing the ball that great, but that was a good hard run there.
Was.
1st and 10.
So they're to the 31-yard line of Liberty Hill. Villarreal takes the snap, throws it out in the flat, and he gets blown up. Trevino catches the ball and gets hit immediately.
Absolutely great pursuit there. Folks, we're dealing with players that we haven't seen that much of. And I think that might be DJ Seaborn.
Well, it says 26, but we don't have a 26 in our program.
Brandon Creek, we sure do. Brandon Creek. He's after 27. The program goes 25, 27, 26.
Villarreal under pressure, throws it, gets hit as he throws. Underthrows his receiver. Man, he got hit by 2 defenders.
He did. He underthrew the receiver by about 15 yards.
Gage Irish hitting a quarterback as he throws the ball. 3rd and long. 3rd and 18.
Senior Brandon Creek, number 26.
Nice.
Great pursuit by Creek. Great
3rd
play.
and 18 from the Liberty Hill 38-yard line. And now Villareal's just going to tuck it and run him himself, and he gets tackled after a pickup of about 3 yards. It'll bring up 4th down from the 34, 4th and 13.
Gage Irish on the tackle there. Jacob Morris still in the game at nose tackle. Jacob sees some first team time, but he's in there mixing it up.
A lot of names we haven't seen. Kate Jones out here at
Gannon Mixon in the game at the defensive line spot.
4th and 13. 2 receivers left to the right. Actually, now 3 receivers after the. There is a timeout.
Preston Mixon in
Delay
the
a game.
backfield quick. Preston Mixon was about to absolutely crush Villarreal in the backfield, but I think he did get a jump there. A lot of whistles being blown right now, and they're going to call a timeout.
Timeout.
We'll keep it here again.
4th and 13. 9.5 minutes left to go in this game till my trek down the freeway to Buc-ee's. So do you like stopping at Buc-ee's?
I will. It is definitely tradition for us to stop on Buc-ee's if we go down to the beach or if you're going camping. You're going. You're taking the kids, my daughters, my wife. They love to get in there and get all kinds of stuff at the Buc-ee's.
Beaver nuggets.
There's all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
what isn't there at Buc-ee's? You can get just about anything.
There really is all kinds of things at Buc-ee's.
You can shop for Christmas. You can get a ice cream. You could get a coffee. You could get some barbecue stuff. You can get your what
decor. Home decor is there.
Absolutely, all of it.
Yeah, you got snorkels.
All the teams. You can get jerseys. You get T-shirts. They have all kinds of stuff. Stuffed animals.
I know something you cannot get.
Pierogies.
You definitely cannot. Pierogies are a Penn State jersey.
Do you know what? Probably not. You maybe get like a cup, like a Penn State cup.
No, not a Buc-ee's. No way.
We'll check. We'll see.
No. But no pierogies. They might one day have pierogies if they have a Buc-ee's in Pennsylvania one day. Snaps back under heavy pressure, and he goes down on 4th down, a sack of like 7 yards.
Jacob Morris in on that sack, number 44. The Morris brothers are having themselves a ball game this evening. David and coach is talking to Jacob because he came flying on that stunt. It looked like David Morris was in there too.
Yep. Now the Panthers take over on downs at their own 46-yard line. And off right inside, Pitchford hands off to Luke Miller. He picks up about 5 yards, gets across midfield to the 49-yard line.
Luke Miller.
Great block there by Truman Stillwell. He just blocked Mercedes Tiger a good 15 yards down the field.
8.5 minutes left to go in this game. Liberty Hill leads 56-6 still. All the starters are out of the game for Liberty Hill. Pitchford hands off to Jackson Hines. He picks up the first down, a pickup of 7-8 yards, moving the chains. All the running backs are back next year, Greg, but Jackson's you got to find that boy a place to play.
He's going to get reps.
I know,
he deserves reps in this offense.
We've not seen him play defense, but I'm sure he can.
Well, he's listed as a linebacker on the defensive side of the ball, but like you said, it's coach always wants to have a 4th and a 5th back to make sure.
Pitchford, the quarterback, keeps it himself, and he dances around, does some moves, and I think he picks up another first down.
Jack Pitchford has, my coach used to call it quicks. You got a little fast twitch. He is quick. He can move so fast out of harm's way, which is invaluable when you're a quarterback. He has it. He has it in spades. Great run there by Jack to get away from pursuing pressure by these Tigers, as this Liberty Hill offense second team offense moving it down the field as well.
Picks up the first down to the 31-yard line of the Tigers. And the ball's on the turf, but Pittsford picks it up and makes the best of it, and he picks up what looks like 6 yards.
Like he dribbled it for 6 yards. Put it on the ground, dribbled it twice. Not sure if Jack plays basketball, but he just did that.
Hey, so speaking of basketball, Liberty Hill legend Barry Boren retired at the end of last year as the head basketball coach, and his son, Blake Boren, took over the team.
Oh.
Yep, and he got his first win last week as a head coach.
How about that? Now Coach Bourne, he coached Ty, right?
He did. Handoff right-hand side. That is to Luke Miller. Gets across the 20, still on his feet. Across the 15, dive to the 13-yard line.
Stillwell again out in front, paving the way for Luke Miller.
Luke Miller with the first down carry.
Yeah, he did coach Ty, and Blake was an assistant coach as well during that time. And Blake's been an assistant coach for several years, and finally, getting rewarded for all his hard work and experience as the head coach, which is great. Handoff to Jackson Hines, left inside. He gets into the end zone. Jackson Hines with a 13-yard touchdown run.
Cutback of his own. Hines, that play was designed to go left. He didn't like it. He came back against the grain, made one-man, two-man miss, takes it into the end zone.
Mama Hines is extremely happy. So glad that we can have her listen to the game. Maybe she's watching on pay-per-view as well. And if she did, she got to see her son score a touchdown.
Good job by this Liberty Hill offense to keep the pressure on. And
the only bad thing about the touchdown is they messed up my score.
Well,
prediction.
It might be a good thing.
So
that I have to deal with
great job by Jackson.
Being right on the money on the score. But as when they missed the extra point to start the game, I thought to myself, here we go, because how many times has the Liberty Hill defense given up the first score of the game, and then there's not a score at all. The rest of the way, the coaches come out and game plan for those first series and do real well, and then this Liberty Hill defensive coaching conglomerate get together and come out with a way to adjust their players, see what they're trying to do, see how they're trying to game plan against them, and shut them down. And we've seen it again tonight. And it's not because of what a lot of times what happens is teams go away from their strengths. This Tiger team stayed with their strengths, and Liberty Hill dislodged it. This defense came out and beat them at their own game.
Kickoff now again for Liberty Hill. Up 63-6. Did you update the scoreboard, Greg?
Oh, no. Maybe not since last time.
Kicks up, going to go out the back of the end zone, and does. Greg.
I got a lot of updating to do. Where's Skyler? Okay, check it out. No, just one score. Just missing 5. You did good there.
Well, does Skyler update the board, or you do it?
No, I do, but Skyler updates me when I don't update the board.
Oh, well, I just updated you.
Oh, you did. You did a good job.
Yeah.
It's snowing. Skyler might be snowed in up there.
That's probably true. We were talking about it off air. Do you see all the snow in Buffalo? And they moved the game to where? Detroit?
Detroit.
Tiger offense back onto the field. 2 receivers right, 2 left. Villarreal, the quarterback, hands off to Tyrell Trevino, right-hand side. Nice run down on the right, picks up a first down, just gets the 10 yards he needs to move the chains.
You just let another team play in your stadium. Like a lot of Detroit fans are going to go to that game, and next thing you know, they're going to be like, I like Buffalo now. They're really good.
Right, they're my
team.
They
just lost a whole bunch of
fan base. Yeah. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. Handoff. Trevino left-hand side, and he's going to take a small loss on the play of a yard or two.
Refs keeping their flags in the pocket. Oh, unbelievable hold there on that play, but they decided not to call it.
Greg, the clock is moving, so it's not going to stop unless it's a timeout now, I think. So that's good.
From Coach Walker's perspective, it absolutely is. The game is really not in doubt, and while it is important to see your players play, it's much more important to get out of here healthy, and so far that's been the case for the Panthers.
Pass out in the flat to, again, that is Trevino.
And that was a flag for sure. That was a pretty violent face mask there, unfortunately. Inadvertent face mask.
Yeah.
Flag on the play.
For sure, but
that's going to be a first down for the Tigers. After they mark that off.
See another quarterback warming up on the sideline.
I saw
third
that too.
Quarterback.
I saw that too.
Austin Fulford. Sophomore, Fulford.
I saw him warming up with his center, Cedric Gould. Both those kids probably were the starters on JV. Going to get their chance next time Liberty Hill gets the ball. They weren't happy probably to see that face mask penalty to extend this drive. Handoff to Trevino right-hand side, nothing doing. Hey, I tell you what, Greg, the starters for the Tigers are still in, and this Liberty Hill backup unit is holding its own.
They really are. Besides the quarterback, but I just think that Coach wanted to get his other quarterback in. But all the skill players and the offensive line have not swapped out. A lot of seniors here playing their last ball game for the Tigers.
Right.
So Coach trying to keep them out there as long as he can.
4 receivers on the left-hand side. Throws it out here for a wide receiver screen.
Good
it is
catch.
Complete, and he's off to the races. Down the sideline is Xavier Sanchez for a touchdown. Greg, I actually thought the ball hit the ground on the catch, but obviously I'm not the official. It didn't matter. Good job for those guys getting a touchdown. Villarreal to Sanchez, and down the sideline he goes for the score.
You got give it up to Sanchez, who picked that ball off the turf. I agree. I thought maybe it might have come real close to the ground there, but great job by Sanchez grabbing the Villarreal pass. Villarreal just picks it up and whips it. He's got a really strong arm, but that crosswind caused it to get a little wonky as it came to him. Sanchez picked it up, took it the distance.
Timeout for the Tigers. They only had 6 guys on the field for the extra point attempt, whatever, the confusion, so they were forced to call the timeout. 3.5 minutes left to go in this game. Liberty Hill up 63-12. Next week, we were talking about Alamo Heights should be. I've tried to look up scores, could not find a score for them, but if Alamo Heights, which I'm sure that they were winning 31-8 over Gregory Portland just a few minutes ago. So they're going to play Alamo Heights. Actually, Alamo Heights won 31-8. They must have played last night. So they're going to play each other next week, which will be a rematch of last year's Liberty Hill win in San Marcos, 43-40, a thriller. So we're going to see a rematch. We may be in the same place, Greg, next week at Texas State. Straight handoff to the running back. Pitch back to a lineman, and he gets an extra point. Erasimo January picks up the 2-point conversion. A senior offensive lineman, a moment he will not soon forget.
Not soon.
Never
like
forget.
Ever
Yes.
forget. The rest of his life, he will remember that time that he caught the 2-point conversion against the powerhouse Liberty Hill Panthers. The story may get embellished.
Yeah, it might.
Get embellished.
Well, sort of like your stories about your playing days.
That's not true. Those are 100% accurate. Accurate.
Greg, let me tell you what. I will tell you it's funny. This is a true story.
Let's hear it.
So I got the film from my senior year. All those tapes.
This is a good story.
Yeah, I did. I got all the film from my senior year. A few years after I graduated, my head coach, Coach Bill Cook, told me, said he got fired. He said, Timmy, that's what that's my name.
Texas Timmy.
Yeah, Timmy. If you want those tapes, you better go get them now, because once I'm out of here, there's no telling what's going to happen. So I went into the storeroom, got every game, including the playoff game and the scrimmages, and brought them home, and never looked at them because I didn't have a projector really. And then finally, just a few years ago, I paid to have them converted. I paid them to have them converted and started watching the games. And you know what I found out?
Tim, tell the listeners what you found out.
I found out when I watched it that I wasn't as good as I thought I was. In my head, after all those years, I'm thinking, man, how good of a blocker I was. I was a good deep snapper. I'm just watching. I'm thinking, I was going to be like this superstar offensive lineman. And I watch myself and I'm going, what?
Do you think we would be critical if we were calling ourselves? How critical would we be?
Well, I don't watch the
I'd
linemen.
be pretty critical of myself.
But I gotta. If I need to see if I could come up with footage. If I could find footage of Greg Cerriti playing high school football, I think we may find the same thing. Aiden Burrell picks it up on the kickoff.
You might be surprised.
And runs it back close to the 30, down to the 29-yard line.
Were you all conference?
No.
Oh, I was all conference.
No, I wasn't.
They let me on there. I snuck on there. I don't know how I did.
As a holder.
They snuck on there.
You were on the team as a holder.
They squeezed me in there. We used to have a game back home. They still have it now. It's called the Dream Game, where you played an all-star game at the end of the season. Do you guys have an all-star game?
We don't do that here.
Yeah.
Well, they do at the highest level of Texas football. They do.
I believe Blake Simpson. But Andon Thomas played in it as well.
Handoff right-hand side to Zach Jacobs. Picks up 6 yards.
It's just our wives listening now anyway.
Maybe. Tony Stevens still might be listening. I don't think my friends.
63-14.
I don't think my friends from Pennsylvania are listening anymore.
It's late. It's late
for them.
It's 10-19 back home.
Yeah, I know they're not listening. My wife, it's a iffy on her.
Coin flip.
She may be listening, but she's watching crime shows at the moment. Handoff right-hand side to Luke Miller. Gets run out of bounds after a pickup of about 15 yards.
The Panthers, the second and third teamers in.
Ball's now at the 47-yard line.
I did not see
2 minutes left.
If Austin is in there. Yeah, he is.
Yep. Handoff. Noah Long?
It's the second number 21.
Second 21. That's not Noah Long. That is.
But I like the call of Noah Long.
I did, but it's what? They're going to call Noah Long. If you see him on, that's not Noah Long.
There's another 21 on the field, folks.
There he is coming off right there. And there's a penalty anyway. Yeah, that's not Noah Long. It's a penalty anyway. Wonder who that was. We don't get to call his name. He's another 21. And what a number to give him, right? The starting tailback. 1st and 5. They're going to kneel it down, and they're going to be able to run the clock out. And the quarterback in there was, who was it, Greg? It was Austin Fulford taking the snap. Was that what it was?
It was, absolutely.
Taking it from his center, Cedric Gould. This guy's getting in the game. Some of these kids getting their first varsity action. There's got to be so excited. take another couple of kneel downs to end this game. There's one, and one more, and it will be over.
And these Panthers will move on.
Play Alamo Heights. It may be next week.
To the quarterfinal of the region.
So my buddy Michael,
Semifinal.
this is the last snap. My buddy Michael in Pennsylvania says it's snowing up there in Pennsylvania.
Amen.
Here it's about 50 degrees. I think it may be high 40s now, but I think it's about 50. That's chilly, but that's like summer weather for you guys. Not really, but I'm hoping we don't get the snowpocalypse that we got last year where we've had all these energy issues and whatnot. But not too bad. Should be for a nice day tomorrow, I think. Into the game, Liberty Hill wins this one 63-14. And thank you, Michael and Shannon, for listening to me on this rant here in this second half. It wasn't super exciting in the second half as the game was a blowout. But thank you for tuning in, and everybody else that tuned in to the channels to listen to the game. It's much appreciated. I'm glad we were able to get you the game, and we will bring you the next round of action. It's going to be probably, again, Friday night. And we think it'll be in San Marcos again since it was last year. But
the coaches get together. They got to make a decision. They got to flip a coin. They got to do all kinds of stuff to try to figure out, Tim,
Yep.
where they go.
What may make a decision, and I don't know, if Texas State is scheduled to play a home game next Saturday, I don't think that we're going to be playing there on Friday night. I just don't think so. So that might mean it's at San Marcos High School, which we've done before, which is also a really nice stadium at San Marcos High School. Maybe that's the alternative as well. But Liberty Hill wins this one 63-14. We are glad you have listened and hope you can tune in next week for round 3. And I'll tell you what, this is going to be a doozy next week against Alamo Heights. This is a coin flip. Could go either way.
That Alamo Heights team has been bounced out of the playoffs by these Panthers,
Yes.
Tim. Is it 3 years straight or 2 years straight for
at least
sure?
2.
These guys have Liberty Hill's picture on
Yep.
their mirror, right? That kind
Yep.
of stuff, where they are really focused on trying to beat these Panthers. And Panthers look like they're going to go into that game full strength and
Yep.
ready to go. Good to have Joe back, Joe Pitchford back, Noah
Yep.
Long back at full strength. And I know that Carson Holland, he'll be back. He's probably chomping at the bit. He got ejected early in the game.
Oh,
Didn't get to see
yes.
what happened, but
No, they get to
good
stay
have
out, I
him
think.
back. And
They get to stay out on the sideline.
he just didn't get to play, and
Yeah.
you know he's
Yeah.
wanting to be out there
Yeah.
with his buddies. Worked so hard all week, and obviously he's not doing anything intentional or trying to hurt anybody.
No.
Just one of those plays that happened. So everybody back and healthy and ready to go against the talented Alamo Heights team that maybe has an axe to grind, as they say.
All right, everybody, we're going to call it a night and try to get on the road and get the Buckies. So Liberty Hill wins this one big and will advance to play Alamo Heights next week. For Tim Dean, myself, and Greg Ceriti, we thank you all for tuning in and listening, and thank you for the Liberty Hill Football Booster Club for getting us on the air. You've been listening to Liberty Hill Football on Vype Media. We will see you next week.